All right, it is telling us we are live. It is 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. So that means it is time for conversations with Cougars. And who do I have? I got number 94, Big Chris Knight, with us in the house. How you doing tonight, Chris? So good to see you, bud.
I'm good. It's a blessing to be here.
Oh, man, I've been looking forward to our conversation all week. Chris is up in Union College up in Kentucky, and I don't know, he's been there for a few years, but I'm not so sure he has adapted to the cold weather and the snow just yet. Have you mastered the ability to drive in the snow yet, Chris?
No, sir. It ain't mastered, but I know how to do it. You can't press the brakes too hard. But whenever it's ice on the road, I try to stay in the house. I don't even try to fool with it.
Now, playing up there, I know you play teams from the north and all over. What's the coldest game that you played in with Union?
Matter of fact, this past season right here, the last game, it was in West Virginia. And I had like I had like 3 long sleeve shirts, and I think like 2 pairs of long socks. I was still cold when you had players saying it wasn't that cold, and I'm like, man, I'm from Bama. It was cold. I don't care what y'all was saying.
Was that a nighttime game?
It was at 7. I'll never forget it.
Oh man, we played up in Army one year, and the sun was going down. It was snowing in late November. You talk about cold on the sidelines. At least you got to play. I'm on the sidelines watching the game, but that cold weather is no joke. But on the flip side, you being from South Alabama, I bet you the humidity wasn't nearly as bad in Kentucky as it was growing up at home.
Oh no, up here we get a lot of wind. You know, down there in Dothan, the heat just sits. You know, it just
humidity. It just sits on you.
Yeah, up here it's real windy. I mean, it'll get hot, but it ain't nothing like Dothan though. Yeah. You know.
Well, Chris, you've had 4 good years up there after graduating from Northview back in 2016. I know you went to junior college for a little bit, but you got to play for Coach Stewart as a 2016 graduate. I want to start right there. I want to talk about what was it like playing for Coach Stewart, who's now over in Avril and doing so great. How was it fun? Was it demanding? Was he a player's coach? Share a little bit about Coach Stewart and that time that you played for the Cougars.
It was all that. Coach Stewart knew how to be serious, be funny, all at the same time, and he really, you could tell he really cared about the program. He cared about us. He can relate to us just like we are homeboys or something. Yeah, Coach Stewart is a great man. He and he goes out his way to do more for players, you know, to try to get them exposure or whatever. Yeah, Coach Stewart is definitely, he's a great coach.
Well, I know the 4 years that you were there, you guys had some up and down seasons, 5-5, 2-8, 5-5, 4-7. But I also know that a whole bunch of guys, your teammates, all ended up playing on the next level. So I want to say your senior class, who were some of the fellas who were your class who ended up playing ball on the next level?
You got me, Caleb Tillman, Cameron Smith.
All right, where did Caleb went to Louisville?
Okay, yeah. Well, out of high school, I went to Bacon College in Oklahoma. Right. Cameron Smith actually went here, Union, out of high school. Caleb went to Louisville. Keidron Winston signed with Grambling. Tyler Marshall signed with UAB. Kobe Nina signed with Tulane. John Howard signed with Point University. Chris King also signed with Union with Cameron. Who else? Kobe Easley. He signed to I want to say Kobe went to a JUCO out of high school. I'm sorry, Kobe. I can't think of it.
That's at least 8 right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we had about 10 that signed. Let me see.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a good number of people, and we had like 22 seniors.
That's awesome. And the rest of them will come back to you. Now, if I say, I got a name for you. If I say Stephon Davis, what does that mean to you?
Oh man, Stephon like a big brother to me, man. He probably a little football more than me. He's so passionate about the game, and I really wish he could have experienced playing college ball, because Stephon playing with varsity when the majority of us were still doing JV.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Stephon doing great right now though. Me and him, every time I go home, we hang about every day. Like me and him got a real good bond, and we know each other since we were kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's awesome. Well, he just jumped in and says to tell you hello. I'm trying to get
yeah,
him on the show in January. I hope he'll join me. But
yeah, Stephon, yeah, he a good man right there. He a good dude.
that's awesome. Now, Chris, where did you go to middle school and elementary? Did you grow up in Dothan or move to Dothan as you got older?
Yes, sir. I grew up here. I went to Landmark and Montana.
Mm-hmm.
In middle school, I went to Carver first, and then Girard. Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Very
So
good.
I know a lot of people, you know, just by doing that.
Now, and over the years, the way that the line in the city was drawn about where you go to high school has changed many times. I went to Girard for middle school. Then I went to obviously to Northview. And for example, Lawrence Dawsey, who was in my class, he went to Carver, or I think it was Carver, but it's changed over the years. Now, during your years, did all the Girard guys and all the Carver guys all go to Northview, or does it kind of split?
Yeah, majority, yes, sir. Went to Northview, and you know, you had some kids that like wanted to beg to go here, so their parent had to make some adjustments. Cause you know, you can use another address.
I was going to say maybe they start living with grandma or aunt or a cousin or somebody. But did you play other sports growing up, or was football your sport?
Football was the first sport I ever touched, and I played t-ball and I played t-ball, you know, baseball and soccer. That's it. I ain't never really played on the basketball team before. It was just football growing up in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I got older, I kind of put baseball to the side. I ain't
Sure. Well, it's not nearly as active a sport as
mm-hmm.
soccer, football, basketball. But were you a big baby? Did you have your size, or did you later grow as you got older?
Yes, sir. I always had, you know, the kind of bulky size. I ain't never really been skinny. I always been big.
Hey,
you know?
Welcome to my world. I got you.
Yeah, and my mom would tell you growing up, I used to get sad about my weight,
mm-hmm.
and she always told me just keep playing sports. You know, it'll get you know bigger, like you'll grow into your weight. And yeah, she was right. You know,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, you had a very wise mama back in the day, just advising her kid about that. But I know you stuck with all your sports. What was it about football early on? Not just your weight, but what about your athleticism? What about your desire? Why football as your sport that you continued to play going through high school?
it seemed like football was just made for me. I mean, I love it so much. It's like I don't get tired of it, and I just kept playing and playing. And I want to thank my parents for really introducing me to the sport. You know, they didn't force me to do it. They made me make my own decisions, and because of them, I fell in love with it. And I mean, football is something I never, you know what I'm saying? Football got me out of Dothan. You know, I mean, I didn't go to a big university, but I got a chance, you know, to go do what I want to do. But yeah, football I love it. I never get tired of it.
Well, we're going to come back to you folks, because I know they've been so instrumental through your life. But I want to talk about you first coming over to Northview. You know, when we all come out of that junior high or middle school, depending on our age, and we go to the View, the school is so big. It's so spread out. It's like a small college. You know, when you're in middle school, when you're at Carver or Girard, and you're an athlete, you're going to be noticed. People are good. You're wearing your jersey on game day, or you're just physically bigger than other folks. So they just know you because they come to your contest or your games. But when you go out to the high school, well, there's a whole bunch of you coming from different places in the city, and you're just trying to find your place. I want to talk about when you're in 8th grade, you got all the confidence in the world. But when you're coming into 9th grade, I don't care how great of an athlete you are or how accomplished you are academically, there's an adjustment period. It's awkward. You don't know everybody. You see all those cute girls, you see all those other athletes. You don't know how to deal with them. Talk about that, Chris. How easy was it on the field or off the field to get acclimated with your new students, with your new school?
Well, like I said, it's a little nervousness. You get a little nervous. You see way bigger kids. You like, oh Lord, I don't want to hit them, But see football, you gotta have heart. You can't let that size get to you. Mm-hmm. And with the students being more students, I mean, it's all about adjusting to it. It's gonna be different. The walk's gonna be longer. All that stuff. And you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna see more. You're gonna be nervous when you were a freshman going to high school. But
now, where was your locker in the school?
Oh gosh, okay. So we walk into school, the commons area, the big part. Yeah, it was over there on the library hall.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Now that big common area, that big open space. Okay. When I was in school, that was nothing but rows and rows of, that's where the lockers were.
Oh, okay.
The lockers were not around the library or against the walls. So I want you to envision 500, 600, 700 kids all trying to go to their lockers at the same time. And you got 20 rows of lockers all backed up.
Oof, I'm pretty sure a lot of people late to class.
That's where I was going with this. Could you imagine coming from, I don't know if it was called the 200-300 hall at the far end of the school, and then having to get all the way to the gym, going to your locker? No way. Hey, no way.
Yeah. That ain't gonna work too often, really.
Well, let's stick on the academic side of things. Did it take you a minute to get used to high school academics? How did you figure out as a 9th grader, or maybe you already had these skills that mom and dad may have given to you or helped train you about knowing your priorities? Because if you don't get your books right, you're not going to get your football right. So talk about that transition, because sometimes that trips up some guys.
Yeah, well, it was definitely different. And me, knowing myself, like I have to study more. I ain't the brightest student, but I'm always give my best effort though, whatever I do. But yeah, I ain't gonna say it was hard. It was just different. It was more. You seen thicker books, you had to buy more notebooks to take notes in, it was just, everything was just like, you had to grow up basically.
Yeah.
It wasn't no more middle school, you gotta kind of.
It wasn't gonna be handed to you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any teachers or any classes that you really, really enjoyed and you excelled in? There's got to be something in there that you really like to go to.
So my 9th grade still?
Yeah, 9th grade or anytime during high school.
Favorite teacher. Oof, Lord. Oh my God. Let me think. Favorite teacher.
Or what about a topic or a subject?
Favorite teacher, I have to say Coach Benjamin.
Okay, why?
Because he was a coach, and when you're an athlete and you got a coach as your teacher, it's gonna be a little easier. He ain't just gonna fail you. He gonna talk to you first.
What did Coach Benjamin
I had a lot of great teachers though.
What did Coach Benjamin teach?
History.
Mm-hmm.
History, yes, sir. And he also taught at Gerard. And
okay.
It's kind of funny because when I got here in 9th grade, I seen him. I was like, oh, snap, I didn't know you came here too.
Keeping an eye on you and all the other guys who came over.
I guess so.
Now, by chance, did I know he didn't teach the history of the Northview football program. But here's my question for you. Did you ever have former players or coaches come back and talk with you guys or did you guys know anything about the former state championship teams or the Larry Roberts or Lawrence Dawsey's, the guys who made it into the pros, Gabe Gross, any of those guys ever, did any of that ever come up during your years?
We heard about it, especially Lawrence Dawson, because I seen him in person. Matter of fact, I went on a visit with Caleb at Florida State, and I got a chance to meet Lawrence there. But as far as coming to talk to us, no, sir, I don't remember that.
Well, I know that different coaches had different philosophies about the older teams, and us old heads are so old that it doesn't resonate with you young guys. But
Yeah.
I know that up until several years ago, in the outer part of the gym, when you first walk in, there was the big trophy case and the stuff in there that everybody just walks by. It has a whole bunch of dust on it. But you're right. Lawrence coached as an assistant at Florida State for several years, but then he went out to Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher, and he's now on Texas A&M's coaching staff as an analyst. Well, that's great that you got to meet Lawrence. Lawrence was one of my teammates, and of course, he was an all-time Northview grade and a Florida State grade, and played for about 10 years in the pros. But let's come back to your time, Chris. You're getting into high school. You've played the defensive line, either end or tackle, in growing up. Did you know that that's where you were going to start playing in ninth grade?
Well, this is really what happened. Like I said, first day of practice, I remember clear as day, Coach Kevin Dorsey, he was just telling people to go to the O-line or D-line. He seen me, he told me go D-line, and I'm really glad he did that. But
now, when you were in ninth grade, what was your height and weight when you came into high school?
I was probably in ninth grade. I want to say I was probably 5'9"-ish, probably 220, not too big,
Respectable for a ninth grader.
Right.
But then when you get out of high school and you graduated, what had you grown to?
Oh, now I'm probably about 5'11", 2. I know I'm like 245 at least now. Yeah.
Got a couple of folks who've rolled in here. Cam Cobb is watching us. One of my former teammates, Brett Heisler, is with us. So thank you, fellas. Of course, I'm talking with Big Chris Knight, number 94, who's currently going to be graduating this May from Union College up in Kentucky. He cannot wait to get out of the cold weather. We're going to take a break from 9th and 10th grade, but let's talk about graduation for a minute, Chris.
Yes, sir.
I know that's next semester. Do you know what your plans are? Do you coming back home, or do you know yet?
I don't know. I got options what I want to do. But yes, sir, when I graduate, I do want to look for a coaching job. Like I said, I love football, so I want to give my knowledge to some kids or whatever. I want to live in the South, but I got Caleb want me to come up there with him, but I gotta kind of.
And he's up in Louisville, man.
It's too cold up there,
Well, Caleb's in Louisville, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Caleb, if you watch this, or I know you're going to watch this at some point, if your boy comes up to Louisville, you're buying him not only a big coat, but gloves and a hat. You got to have some incentive for him to come up there, man.
And an extra heater, too, for the bedroom.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Chris, let's go back to high school. Let's talk about ninth grade year. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you a star? Were you on the bench? What was going on for you, ninth grade?
I love it. I mean, I wasn't a star, but what I'm saying, I got a chance to play. Even if I was on the bench, I ain't never really care about being a star. I just, what I'm saying, just being a part of something. Like I said, like college, for example, my dream was to play college ball. Whether I play or not, I just want to be a part of the team, But yeah, ninth grade, I got a chance to play. It was fun. If I could do it all over again, I would. High school, definitely.
Now, when you're in ninth grade, you're seeing the varsity players, the guys who are 2 or 3 years older than you, and you're watching, I assume you're watching your position. Who were some of those guys, and did you try to pattern your game after either them or guys in college or the pros back then?
Yeah, I always focus on college guys and pro guys, really. Yeah, we had some real. I think my ninth and 10th grade year, we had the biggest offensive line in the whole Wiregrass.
Wow.
So that was 2013 and 14. Yeah, yes, sir.
Wow. Well, so tell me, all during your high school years, and I know we're kind of skipping around a little bit, who were some of those pros or college games that you like to watch, and maybe you think, using some of their game as part of your game, kind of patterning?
Well, Cliff Avril. Well,
Mhm.
I started with NFL first. Cliff Avril, he was. I like to watch him because he was a pad rusher and he wasn't that tall.
Mhm.
Because I like watching guys that's not that tall,
Mhm.
and I like to see how they can work and stuff.
And if you're
Yeah,
not that tall on that position, Chris, is it more technique? Is it feet, hands? What is it about? How do you become successful if you're not one of those big, tall, rangy dudes?
yes, sir. Especially my side because I go against a lot of everybody going to at least be 6'3" and up.
Mhm.
So with my size, you gotta yes, sir. Technique is really important. Keep his feet moving. You want to keep your hands in motion. Yeah, all that plays a really big role, especially when you undersized going to get somebody that's way taller than you.
Well, what you don't know is I've been doing some checking up on you, and I hear you've got some sweet feet that you really know how to dance. Is there any truth to that?
I mean, I don't know about the dancing part, but like I always been told I'm a pretty good runner. Like I'm not really slow for my size.
Sure.
I ain't finna dance though. I don't know about
Now, who is your coach? Who is your position coach in ninth grade?
Kevin Dorsey.
Gotcha. And did you learn a lot from Coach Dorsey as you were moving up to JV and then varsity?
Yes, sir. He always came to practice with good energy. He, what I'm saying, he just wanted to get us ready to go play with the big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to him. He was, I like Coach Dorsey. He a good man. Yeah.
Now, did the ninth grade team? Where did y'all practice? Were you on the same field as the JV and varsity, or a different?
No,
state?
sir. We had okay. It's a field beside the main gym.
Mhm.
It's a little field right there.
Okay.
That's what we had practice at.
In front of the main gym?
Well, it's like beside it.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Like beside it.
Okay, because what I'm thinking is that may be where the band used to practice many, many years ago.
The other side.
Oh, others. Okay, I'm with you. Now, you know where the softball field sits? Down
Yes,
in the bowl.
Mhm.
For many, many, many years, probably the first 30 years of the school. That's where ninth grade practiced. And I don't know if you're aware of this. There's no wind that comes through there. It goes over it. And I don't know if it's still there, but the coaches made the ninth graders and sometimes the older guys too, when you get in trouble, you'd have to run the hillside, snake it up and down. See, you young guys, y'all had it easy. Us old guys like Bud Young, who just dropped in, he played early on. That's where we used to practice. But anyway, going into, did you gain weight? Did you gain some speed, some technique going from 9th to 10th grade?
Yes, sir. I gained weight, but it was good weight. I had to, when you see when you kind of younger, you don't want to work out too much because it can mess your growth up. So as I was able to really start working out how I wanted to, a lot of my fat turned to muscle, and I started being more looking big than looking, fat. So yeah, I definitely got bigger by the years.
Well, what about, was there a weight room or weight facilities on campus that you guys used?
Yes, sir. It's actually, yes, sir. I know it's an old one, a real old one, like in the back of.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself. No, the two weight rooms that we had were in the gym upstairs on either side of the not the main gym, but the rooms off the main gym in the front.
Yes,
were
sir.
those the rooms? Did you guys use either of those, or did they move it?
Oh yes, sir. Upstairs, yes, sir, to the side. Oh man, yeah, you just brought some memories back. I forgot about them days right there. Man, I forgot about that weight room. It's
Now, how
crazy.
about this? When we would have bad weather days and it was off-season training for football, let's say it was in January and it was just bad weather out, we couldn't go outside to train. So we'd do our weights and workouts in those two rooms, but then we would have to run through the entire gym. And I don't mean out on the gym floor. I mean up the stairs, down the stairs, through the front lobby, back up the stairs, around behind all of the bleachers inside the gym. I mean, there was a whole circuit. Now imagine all the D linemen in a group doing that. Then all the O linemen in a group doing that. Now, if you're a regular student doing PE,
Yeah.
could you imagine? You're about to get run over.
Right, exactly. Because y'all too tired to tell people to move, y'all just gonna run them over.
That's right. That's right. You probably heard everybody before you saw it. But guys, I'm talking with Big Chris, number 94. He's currently going to be on schedule to graduate from Union College this May. Played for Coach LeBron Stewart back at 16 graduate. Let's talk about those teams, your varsity years. What was the most fun that you had? What was great memories about being a Northview Cougar back in the day?
Oh gosh, I had to say, just to like the people around me made it better. You know, see, like one thing about like football period in Dothan, a lot of people start when you're young, and you just keep playing, you keep playing until you get to high school. You go here or there, you know, and if you and y'all rivals, so it just playing football at Northview. It taught me a lot of stuff. Like it was a team. It wasn't everybody had like a good relationship with each other. You know, everybody hung out with each other beside the football.
Would it be fair to say it was a brotherhood?
Brotherhood, yes, sir.
Now,
that's the perfect word for it.
Talk to us about hanging out at TGI Fridays, and were Dothan High kids, were they allowed where you guys were hanging out? Just north of you?
Well, I don't think not too many people knew about that. It was kind of like a senior thing, like a senior inside thing. I forgot who made it up, but yeah, we just said just about after every game, if it's still open, we're gonna go TGI, win and lose, and that just shows the bond we had. Like we never get tired of each other. We play a full game. We still with each other the next day, staying at each other's houses. So and that made football more fun. You playing with people that you love, you know.
Now, any of those guys your neighbors growing up?
Neighbors.
Anybody live in the neighborhood? Do you live in the Walton community?
Oh, Walton Park?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Tyler Danzy. Yeah, he'll probably closer one to me for my teammate.
Well,
yes,
I gotta say, at least y'all upgraded to TGI Fridays. Our spot was Burger King, and we didn't go in. We were in the parking lot. We didn't even go in. You'd have knuckleheads walking through the drive-through just because they thought it was funny to get food that way. But yeah, it was the parking lot at the Burger King. So go figure. Chris, let's talk about, you get together with your buddies when you come home in a couple of days. You see Caleb or whoever it is. Are those the kind of guys you don't even have to say anything? You just see each other across the parking lot or coming in the house, and just a smile hits your face immediately.
That's it. It's like I said, like, yeah, when I go home, you know, I just, like I said, I go home and I call one of my friends, you know. Majority of the time it be Stephon Davis because, you know, a lot of other my friends, they don't come home as much as I do because, you know, they got other stuff doing and stuff where they at. And but yeah, when I come home, yeah, it's the same thing. I hang around positive people, basically, you know.
Well,
you know,
it's one thing to be in school with other students, but it's a whole nother thing to be a teammate, go into battle with these guys.
Exactly.
I want you to share what it means to have teammates, to have brothers in arms? What did football teach you, whether it's high school or playing on the college level, that will forever hold you going forward with these friendships?
It teaches you trust. You know, I can trust all of them to have my back. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they can. It's vice versa for me. It helps you see the bigger picture too. You know, and like I said, if we like even without football, like we'll still have that bond. Just by, you know, like I said, we all grew up together, majority of us. So we already been close. So without football, we'll still have that same brotherhood. And another thing too, see, I don't hang around nobody really besides my teammates, kind of my old teammates. So and we all have the same mindset. You know, we want to go far in life. We don't want to cause no trouble. You know what I'm saying? We just want to be good people. And
Well,
you know,
to hear that. That warms my heart right there, my friend. Now, I want to talk about your folks because I know how important they are to you. Every good athlete has a support system because you're doing your thing to prepare. You're doing your thing in the weight room, the classroom, on the field. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that most folks never know about, particularly people who aren't involved in sports on the big time level, whether it's high school or college. Tell us a little bit about your folks and how they supported your sports career all through growing up and even now.
Well, first of all, let me say, it's a blessing to have both parents in your life. You know, Lisa and Jimmy Knight, those two right there. I mean, I can't. Sometimes they do too much. You know, I can't ask enough for them, and they just real encouraging. Come to all my games, and they so supportive. You know, I can't thank them enough, and they make sure I keep everything in order. You know, they always checking on me by my grades, and they hold me accountable, and they also do a good job of keeping me out of trouble too. That's another thing I say. I thank them for basically putting me in sports. Cause you know, when you in sports all your life, it keeps you out of trouble, you know. And I thank them for that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I love them to death. I do anything for them. Yeah, they definitely my number one support system. Definitely.
Now, how often were they coming up to the Union games wherever you guys were playing?
My mom came. She really couldn't make it that much.
I mean, that's a long drive from South Alabama.
And she came to one up here. We played a school from Tennessee, and I had a game in Faulkner this past season, but it got canceled due to COVID.
Oh.
And man, when I tell you, my whole family was coming.
Oh, you'd had 50 people there.
Probably more than that.
Like, yeah.
And that really hurt. That really hurt me really because you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
And I was, matter of fact, we had 3 games got canceled.
Because you're lucky you were able to have the season that you did have.
Right.
A lot of the smaller division schools either folded, even Division I schools either pushed to the spring or just didn't have it. I know that whole like the Ivy Leagues out west, they just everybody was doing the best that they could. Guys, I'm talking with Chris Knight, 2016 graduate of Northview, and he's about to graduate college and set off on his own path. And we're giving a shout out to his folks and the awesome stuff that they've done for him. Chris, let's talk about, you're in 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. You're starting to think about playing on the next level. You're seeing that Coach Stewart is getting a whole bunch of guys in those classes, either scholarships or opportunities to play on the next level. Not everybody can play D1. D1 may be where we originally start our dreams, but there's so many more opportunities at D2, D3, and junior college and other places that it may have a little bit of a hit on your pride or your ego, but once you really get into there, you realize it's football and it's very good football and you're going to play a lot. So talk a little bit about that, because you didn't go the D1 level, but you got to play at two different colleges. You've played for 4 or 5 seasons and you've had a great career, all things considered. So share a little bit about that mindset as if you're talking to a 10th or 11th grader who only has tunnel vision for just D1.
Well, everybody is not going D1. You know, that's just a real fact, and that's why it's smaller schools here for people, you know, that can't go Division 1, and you can still play some good football. But yeah, football is still football. It's just different levels. You know, I play NAIA. It's D1, D2, D3, NAIA, and then JUCO.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I misspoke about JUCO.
Yes, sir. And yeah, man, you just gotta be humble. You gotta take advantage of your opportunity, man. I'm telling you, like, if it's a small school, it's still football. You still gotta hit the weight room. You still gonna play against big people. It's gonna be speed. You might not have the atmosphere might not be as great. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody want to go D1, you know. I mean, but everybody not going D1. So, but I mean, if you get a small scholarship, you can't just brush it off, because it's people in the NFL that went to a small school.
A whole bunch of them, and more every year. But you're right. The heart, the effort, the energy, the athletics, it's all there. Every bit as it is. Maybe sometimes even more.
It's the same.
Chris, we got a couple of folks, some old heads is what I'll call them, and I mean that in the best of ways. We got Shane Cobb from one of the original teams, Cam's dad. We got Damon Glasgow, who's an old head too. Sorry, Damon. But guys, I'm talking with Chris Knight. Chris about to graduate from Union up in Kentucky. He's not used to the cold weather, but we're going to find another place for him. He may go up to Louisville if Caleb will treat him right. But Chris, we got a couple more minutes. I want to talk about playing Dothan High, Enterprise, Ozark. What did it mean to you to play against those rivals, especially those rascals across town? What was that like for you?
Well, I'm gonna say D High for last. Enterprise. See, playing Enterprise. See, Enterprise always had depth. Mm-hmm. You go to their home. You go to their game. They whole sideline just filled with players. So they got numerous of athletes. Enterprise is one of them schools. I don't know about now, but when I was playing, you know, they just a hard-nosed, well-coached. You got to really beat them. Like, they're not going to just hand it to you. And who you said, Ozark?
Yeah, was Ozark on y'all's schedule back then? Or not?
Yeah, Ozark. I hate to say it. Ozark got us my senior year. But yeah, yeah, Ozark, one of those schools, they're gonna try hard. But, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, my senior year, they got the best of us. They just kept scoring right behind us.
Well, I tell you, it was for years and years, Ozark, Carroll High School never beat Northview. So when they finally were able to get over the hump, they started taking it out on us a little bit. But Enterprise now being a 7A school, mm-hmm. You guys stayed were you 6A by the time, or were still
6A?
Yeah, you were 6A. And Dothan High now, I think, is 7A. They're struggling a bit. But, but for many years, when Northview was still first formed, those 4 schools, Northview, Dothan, Carroll, and Enterprise, we made up our own region in the Wiregrass. So we played each other every single year, with, of course, Dothan being the rival. Now, you may not realize this, but in the early years, Dothan High, the game was in the middle of the season. It wasn't at the end. And even when I was there, Carroll was our last game of the year. I don't understand all that, but it may be because Dothan and Enterprise had been playing each other for decades.
Right.
Before Northview came around. But let's talk about those rascals, Dothan High School. What did it mean to you to beat up on those guys?
D High. Like I said, it's like you playing against your cousin from across the table. You know, it's everybody know everybody. You got the whole city, the whole area of Wiregrass coming to that game. Like that's a game you got to get there early. I mean, it was just, even losing, it was just fun playing in front of that many people. Cause Rip used to fill up Northview and Dothan High play. Freshman year they beat us. Sophomore year they beat us again. My junior year, we got a chance to beat them. And goodness gracious, senior year, man, we lost by 1 point. I never forget that game. Matter of fact, that whole game is on YouTube. And I watched that game not too long ago, matter of fact.
And I think I've added it to the Northview group here. So if you guys go to videos, you're going to see games from all different years.
Right.
Anything that's on YouTube, I've added to it. Now, your last game of your high school career, was it the Dothan High game, or was there other games after that?
The last game. My senior year, it was actually Hillcrest.
Okay.
Tuscaloosa, first round playoffs. Mm-hmm.
You go into that game. Unfortunately, you lose that game in Tuscaloosa. Do you remember thinking, either before that game or leading up to it, or at any point, I've just played my last high school game. I'm going to play at the next level. But as far as high school and these brothers, these teammates, we're done as a team.
Right.
All athletes go through that, regardless if you're playing at the next level or not. These are the guys you grew up with. These are your neighbors.
Right.
You remember thinking about having any of those discussions with Caleb or Colby or any of those guys on the team?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember how it made you feel back then?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a eye opener, like I said, you finna go off, you finna go see some new people. You in the real world now once you hit college level.
Well, a lot of your teammates, you said there's 22 of them, seniors.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those guys, that was their last high school organized sport game they ever played. Now, a whole bunch of you guys went off your own directions, as you mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But every athlete, now we'll take you just completed your senior season at Union.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember thinking at the end of that season, just a few weeks back, I may be done for organized sports?
Oof. And I never thought I'd say I'd be done with football. I mean, as of right now, I'm officially done with football, and I mean, they got other leagues out here. I might wake up one day and say, hey, I might want to put my cleats back on, but
well,
yeah.
I was gonna say, are you 22? How old are you?
I'm 23.
23. You're not finished being an athlete. I don't mean that. You're going to find competitions, whether it's in a basketball court with guys pick up or flag football, whatever it may be. But from an organized standpoint, every athlete has to face, I'm done with this part of my life. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing all the time. Some guys look forward to it.
Right.
But the reality is you're about to pivot to whatever's next in life. So here's my question for you, Chris. We just got a couple more minutes. What are you telling the young athlete? What are you telling other athletes that don't have the mindset that you may have, that maturity that you have? They may be thinking, I'm going to play forever. I'm going to go play on Sundays now that I'm done playing on Saturdays. Very, 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 very few get to do that. Less than 1%.
Mm-hmm.
So I know, not knowing you very long, but I know you have a plan. So what do you tell these younger athletes who are coming to the end of their career about that transition that you're about to undergo?
Well, you just gotta man up, and you gotta be honest with yourself. Is really important too. It's gonna hurt, I mean, like I said, football is really my passion. Like I'll be 80 years old. I'm still watching football. Football just really just made me grow up. It kept me out of so much trouble. it's really one of the greatest sports ever created. I'll be honest with you. And I mean, the young people, you just gotta, like I said, you gotta be true to yourself. You just gotta, you can't be scared to move on with something what you love, to go do something different, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just gotta just keep pushing.
You know, Chris, it's so true what you just said, that organized sports, whether it's football or some other sport, you found a brotherhood of teammates, and you used a key word right there earlier: trust. Trust. They got your back. You got their back. Doesn't matter if it's on the sports field or in real life doing other things. But you have the beautiful thing about playing football as long as you have. You've got teammates and brothers from Northview, from NAIA out in Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
and at Union. And once you get to be my old age, you're still gonna have all those guys.
Right.
And
I'm looking forward.
Chris, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed our conversation tonight. We're almost done. But, and this is, sometimes I conclude with this. What did it mean to you to be a Northview Cougar? What does it mean to you now that you've graduated, proud graduate of Northview, even though we don't have our school anymore? But I know you're very proud of your time there and having graduated there. What does that mean to you now that you're an old man of 23, about to be a college graduate?
It mean everything to me. I really appreciate Northview, man. Like I said, Northview is Northview. I really hate the fact that they canceled it. Well, yeah, Northview will always be in my heart. I was a Cougar, you know. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted. Good memories, a lot of laughs, ups and downs. It was a roller coaster, but you know what I'm saying? High school period helps you grow up more and get you ready for the real world, you know.
Yeah. You know, Chris, in our 45, 50 minutes we've been talking, here's one of the beautiful things about being a Cougar. You've got former players from the 70s, 80s, 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s who've all chimed in here. They've been communicating a little bit of comments. I want you to get in there when you get finished.
Yes, sir.
And one of them just wrote CFL. What does that mean? Well, of course, it's Canadian Football League to some, but it's Cougars for life in this group. And
okay.
we may have all played at different decades.
Yes,
but
sir.
we all have a commonalities. We represented our high school and loved our high school. We could have been state champs or state chumps. Who cares? We've all got that common bond as teammates and brothers. And Chris, I wish I would have been one of your teammates back in the day, because you're the very epitome of what it means to be a teammate. And I so appreciate spending some time with us tonight.
Yes, sir. I appreciate everybody for joining and listening.
Absolutely. And guys, this is the very reason why I love doing these each Wednesday night. We're going to keep doing them. We got a bunch of folks lined up who are coming. And I promise you, at some point, I'm going to get Coach Griffin on this show. Chris, I don't know if you knew Coach Griffin back in the day or ever were around him. He was one of the original coaches, coached at Northview for over 30 years, helped to integrate the Dothan City school system in the 60s. Sent many, many, many players onto the next level. But even more important than that, he was taking boys, turning them into men, just teaching them life lessons. So I'm going to get Coach Griffin on here at some point. But Chris, this is your night, and I sure appreciate meeting you, having an awesome chat with you, and I wish you the very best.
You too, sir. Thanks for having me. It was an honor. Hopefully I do it again.
Absolutely, guys. Y'all continue to have a safe and healthy holiday season. We will see you back again next week. Take care.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.